Leading the way, Jason Robinson.
After a long season, this is what it's all about. Sale haven't seen scenes like this for 17 years, lifting the Premiership title. They've booked their place in the final at Twickenham after beating Leicester Tigers in the semi-final. Everyone at the club is looking forward to the game against Saracens. Are you excited for this weekend?
No.
No.
Well, ridiculous question. Jump out of boots excited. Of course I'm excited. You know, it's a final, it's my own team. They haven't been there 17 years and we've worked so hard to get there. So the key is keeping a lid on the excitement.
And it seems to be working. There was a relaxed feeling at training. Coaches were even playing crowd noise to recreate that famous Twickenham atmosphere. The wait is almost over, a match that could etch these players into the history books. But those in the blue of Sale know to do that, they'll have to overcome a team that's won the Premiership 5 times. But one man who knows how to stop Saracens on the big stage is George Ford. He was part of the Leicester team that beat them in last year's final.
They've been in these games quite a bit, they've got a fair amount of experience in these games. We're confident ourselves. We understand that finals probably going to come down to 1 or 2 moments in a game that are going to swing it either way. And the big thing for us is to stay as focused and concentrate as much as we can throughout the game.
The team from 2006 were number 1 in the Premiership table and then went on to dominate the final by beating Leicester by 25 points. Well, a man who was doing the same in his own sport at the time paid a visit to the club's training ground at Carrington. Former Manchester United manager Sir Alex Ferguson gave the current team a few wise words. But for some, the game will also bring back some nostalgia. Sam James was a ball boy in the semi-final in 2006.
It's our boyhood club, it's the club we supported growing up, so it's massive for us to all get to that final now, and I hope that proves on the pitch, because once upon a time we were watching those lads in 06 win that final, thinking we want to be there one day, so we've now got the privilege to be in that position.
Director of Rugby Alex is hoping to recreate those celebratory scenes, as well as bringing pride back to rugby in the north.
Certainly the wider perspective and more humbling one is that we could inspire people up in the north and to come down to or to young kids, girls and boys, to pick up a ball, and that's mega, that, isn't it?
Like in 2006, Sale are hoping for a silver lining to the season as they look to write their names in history to inspire the future generation. Arun Lal, ITV News, Carrington.
My vision is to restore the club and stabilise it in order to bring it back to the championship.
Those were the words of Wigan's Bahraini owner Abdullah Rahman Al Jasmi when he bought the club to take them out of administration 2 years ago. Despite promotion back to the Championship in his first season in charge, it's been anything but stable. This year with multiple managers, wages paid late, relegation and a points deduction. Last night the ownership group released a 3-line statement which said a deal had been agreed in principle for the sale of the club to a new buyer, subject to EFL approval.
The current regime, I think, is well past the sell-by date with what's been happening over the past few months, so it really needs a new owner to come in. But it's shrouded in mystery, nobody knows who it is, and you wonder if you're out the frying pan into the fire.
It's been 10 years since Dave Whelan and his Wigan side lifted the FA Cup. Since then they've been relegated from the Premier League, and this season staff have gone unpaid, as well as them being relegated to League One. But with the prospect of new owners, it's hoped that the club can get back to its glory days. Having captained Wigan to the FA Cup, Emerson Boyce believes the club needs new owners to steady the ship.
As I say, we had the glory days in terms of staying in the Premier League and winning the FA Cup and playing in Europa League. The fans have seen the ups, obviously they've seen the downs, but I think that, like anything, I think they just want to make sure the club's sustainable now, make sure it's got a future, because we don't want to be in a position where we're worrying about the club again.
Those worries still remain at the club, but talks are ongoing between authorities to protect its future.
We have an idea of who they are, but obviously any deal is subject to EFL approval. The key for us is that any new owner has the best interests of Wigan Athletic at heart. We've been in this situation too many times in recent years.
Fans hope by resolving the club's off-field troubles, it will help those on them and bring Wigan back to the wonder years. Arun Lal, ITV News. It's the path trodden by the greats of the past. But on Sunday, it'll be a route to a day for destiny. Everton find themselves teetering on the brink of relegation.
Everton Football Club don't do going down. For us to go down is unthinkable. And my heart would bleed if Everton Football Club went down into the Championship. The stark reality of relegation from the Premier League, 50% of the staff currently working for Everton Football Club are likely to be looking for new jobs, so it's unthinkable.
Well, the players who'll be on the pitch have been preparing at the club's training ground, but will be without star striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin and defenders Nathan Patterson and Ben Godfrey. Manager Sean Dyche says his team know the magnitude of the game, but are up for the challenge.
Every game's important, every minute of every game's important. We showed that against Wolves. The mentality to take every breath of the game to the last whistle, and we did that. We might have to do that again. We should be doing that because that's what the intention is, and that's the consistency I talk about, is the mentality to play hard through every game and to go into every game to win.
The Toffees currently sit 17th in the league, just one place outside the relegation zone, with both Leicester City and Leeds United only 2 points behind them. Everton have it in their hands. A win here would guarantee them Premier League football, but if results elsewhere go in favour of Leeds United and Leicester City, then Goodison could be playing host to Championship fixtures next season.
The 2 points in front doesn't sound a lot, but it is at this stage of the season, as long as we capitalise on it. But all that noise aside, it still comes down to performing to win. You know, that's been another consistent message to this team. We go into every game to win a game. It's not that easy, of course, we've seen that. But that's our mentality, is to go in to win the game.
A march is set to take place before the game, as fans will voice their frustrations. Many will be thinking what of the future, as the completion date for their new £500 million stadium gets closer by the day. Playing in a lower league will be devastating for fans.
The last game of the season should be a cause for celebration, not for us looking over the shoulder and looking for the results of teams below us. So I'm really looking forward to the team putting on a good performance and securing our Premier League safety.
But fans can take comfort from knowing they've survived this before. On the final day of the 1993-94 season, they came back from 2-0 down to beat Wimbledon 3-2, keeping them up. Well, the current stars will need similar matchday magic to extend Everton's stay in the top flight. Arun Lal, ITV News.
Times. Well, of course, the big subplot to tomorrow's match is whether City can do the treble and equal the achievements of Manchester United in 1999.
Yeah, it gets mentioned quite a lot, doesn't it? And settle some of the bragging rights between the two sets of fans. Obviously, lots of families across Manchester and many parts of our region are divided by their football loyalties.
None more so than one we're meeting next. Live now to a very divided back garden in Stockport, and our reporter Arun Lal. Arun, who have you got with you?
Well, yes, I'm here with the family we all got to know pretty well last Friday on our programme. Fast forward a week, and we're here again, and Manchester City are in another major final. Now, I'm joined by Marie, who's a Manchester City fan. And Marie, can you just tell me, you must be on cloud nine, how you feel since winning the FA Cup?
Amazing, absolutely amazing. I'm just so glad. Yep.
And Dad, Dan, you're a Manchester United fan. How have you felt this week?
Gutted after what happened last week, especially United just didn't turn up last Saturday, but you know, we've got the final for City tomorrow, and roll on.
Well, I was going to ask if there was any Italian connections in the family, but I can kind of see by your shirt.
Yeah, as you can see, after the match on Saturday, I put my shirt in for wash, and miraculously it turned into an Inter Milan shirt.
Well, fighting talk there. We've even got a referee in the background to keep the peace. Now, tomorrow is a big game, and I just want to bring in Tyler, who's a Manchester City fan. And Tyler, how would you feel if Manchester City did the treble?
Oh, it'd be amazing. You know, it's the last thing the Reds have got against us, so that might shut them up for a bit. And then, obviously, you've got the lads who have worked really hard for it, so we'd all just be really, really proud of them. It'd be good. OK, now just to toe the party lines, I'm going to bring in Auntie Tracy, who's a Manchester United fan. And Auntie Tracy, how would you feel if Manchester City matched your Man United team from 1999 and did the treble?
I'd be happy for my half of the Blues, my family and friends. It is an amazing feeling to do the treble, but I can't support City. Tomorrow it's going to be Inter all the way.
OK, so no love lost there. But just to bring back in Marie and Dan, tomorrow, big game. Can I just get those all-important final scores and predictions from yourselves?
I think it's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be 2-1 to City, and I think they're going to have it tough. But you can do this, boys. We got you back, and we're rooting for you all.
Dan?
Inter Milan 4-0, Lukaku hat-trick and Darmian last minute just to finish things off.
OK, well, so those are the thoughts from the Ross, the Wilkinson family there. And now attentions will turn to that big game tomorrow in Istanbul.
Forza
No hard feelings whatsoever. Thanks, Aaron.